Hello and welcome to the short Vort and Parshas Kedoshim. In Perek Yitas Pasuk Tes Vav, the Pasuk says, "B'tzedek tishpot am yisacha." With righteousness you shall judge your friend. In addition to the simple meaning, Rashi in Shruas says that it's havedanas chavercha lekav zechus, that you should always give your friend the benefit of the doubt. That even if it's a situation where maybe he's doing the right thing, maybe he's not, give him the benefit of the doubt and assume he's doing the right thing. And this sometimes can be something that's very hard. It's our natural inclination often to look for the negative of someone and assume badly. And we have to work to improve this midah when applying it to our friends. And Rav Dov Yafo is brought down in the Lekech Tov Al Hatorah, says that a mashal, he gives a parable, that let's say there was someone who's looking for a valuable item that he can't find. So he'll take a look where he thinks it might be. It's not there. He'll go a little bit further, somewhere where it's not so likely. And if he still can't find it, he'll go back to even where he looked beforehand. Even though he knows he's been there, it's not likely to find it, he's going to look again. Why? Because this item is valuable to him. Even this year when looking for the b'dikas chametz, I found a piece of chametz I was not expecting. On the other hand, there was a piece of chametz that I hid, and I couldn't find it until I looked closer again in that area because something had moved and blocked it, and I was not able to see it. But the point is, when you're looking for something that you really want to find, it's so much easier to find it, and surely at least you can make a greater effort. So this is how you should act for your friend, by looking, even if it's an unlikely circumstance, that think, well, maybe this is actually what happened, I just don't know the story behind it. And in Pirkei Avos, in Perek Aleph Pasuk Vav, which we read last week, so there Rabbi Yeshua ben Prachia says, "V'havedan es kol ha'adam lekav zechus," that you should judge everyone with the favor of doubt, which is what we've already given the favor of the doubt, which is what we already said. And there's various commentaries there, including the best, that says that the Baal Shem Tov says that if someone gives their friend the benefit of the doubt in this world, Hashem will give you the benefit of the doubt when it comes to being judged for the future world. And the Gemara in Shabbos, Daf Kuf Chav Zayin Amud Beis, so brings down three different circumstances where they conclude that, since you gave me the benefit of the doubt, you should be rewarded that Hashem will give you the benefit of the doubt. And one of them is a more famous case that many of you probably have heard of, and that's there was once a worker from the Galil. He came down south, and most likely this was Rabbi Akiva, and he was working for Rabbi Elazar ben Hyrcanus. And after the few months of working, right before Yom Kippur, Rabbi Akiva came to his boss, and he said, please give me my wages. And the boss said, I can't, I don't have any money. So he said, okay, then why don't you give me some animals as in lieu of the cash? He says, I don't have any of that. What about some land? I don't have that. That's not available either. How about fruits? How about pillows and cushions and all these? The owner said, I don't have any. The dejected employee left and went home on that news. After Sukkot, his boss came. He loaded three different animals with three different camels or donkeys, and went to the Galil to pay back his employee. He had dinner with him first, and then he gave back the money, and he asked the employee, so we'll assume it's Rabbi Akiva, he said, well, what did you think when I told you all these things? Well, when I didn't have money. Well, he said, well, maybe I had a business opportunity that I had to take advantage of, and therefore I didn't have cash flow. Excuse me. Or what about the land? Well, maybe you had a sharecropper, a share tenant, and therefore you didn't have access to land and the animals. Well, maybe you leased it to someone else. What about the fruits? Well, maybe you were afraid that Meiser wasn't given, and therefore you excuse me, you didn't want to give it to an Am Haaretz. And what about the pillows and cushions? Maybe you you donated it to Hektish and you couldn't have it anymore. And the man said, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what happened. I even donated everything because my son was going off the derech and I didn't want him to inherit it. But in the meantime, I was mevatel the neder, and now I'm able to pay you back. And just as And he concluded, just as you were judge me zechus for the merit of positively, hamakom yadinos zechus. Hashem will bless you for the zechus. So a couple of other things we learn from this is with Rabbi Akiva, that Rabbi Akiva at this point was not yet a Talmid Chacham, yet he had these refined midos, and then later on he went to learn Torah. And also, as someone, a shir I heard pointed out that Rabbi Akiva lost 24,000 students, that they didn't give the proper respect, whatever it meant on their level. And perhaps that's why in the Mishnah that Rabbi Akiva comments that Zeklal Gadol Torah, because maybe it's after, depending when he said it, but perhaps it's after the loss of the 24,000 students who didn't act properly. He said, "Oh, it's so important to be V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha." So thank you for listening. If you like it, please comment and share and give me feedback. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos.